Welcome back to Comics Experiment, the show right here at the Comicstorian Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Comicstorian, that airs every Thursday, where I sit down with three guys, well, two guys, and I'm the third, and we talk about stuff involved in the world of comic books. Everything from a list that we found, to a general discussion, to just making fun of stuff. We just basically do comic book themed podcasts right here. It's then uploaded to your favorite podcast network. Dan and I should be working on any issues, because apparently it wasn't working. But we are finding out why and how, and we are working on that. If you are listening to this on Spotify and your favorite podcast networks, that means we fixed it, and thank you for watching. And if you're watching this live, well, not live, but if you're watching this post-recorded over on the YouTube side, come over and join us live, because that happens on Thursdays. But today we're going to be talking about the most iconic brands out there, from Marvel to DC. Who's got the more iconic superheroes and who's more iconic in general in 2021, and we'll look at the history of the iconic logos and labeling and everything going on with the characters. That's going to be the discussion today right here at Comics Experiment. Play the intro, Dan. We still don't have an intro, do you? Do we? It's like 5 years late. We still don't have like.
We still do not have an intro.
We still don't have like a graphical intro.
Comic Experiment. No, that's terrible.
All right, and today's episode is brought to you by
Honey and HBO Max. We'll tell you more about both of them in the middle of today's episode.
Yes, darling, I will watch HBO Max. I had to find a way to work it back in.
You melded both of them with it that time. I'll give it to you. We're also sponsored by our G Fuel sponsor, where you can use code COMICS at checkout. Save 10 to 30% on your order.
Yes, and we're also sponsored by our other channels, Dan. Two of them. What are they?
They are Dungeons and Ale, where we do D&D with drinks. It's great. I don't know why.
It's like neither of those are here.
This thing that doesn't have anything to point to. As well as our other channel, Absolutely Marvel and DC, where Benny, myself, Dylan, and Sal from Comic Pop talk about a bunch of different Marvel and DC stuff.
And additional stuff. As a matter of fact, our long-awaited, much-requested episode where Dan and I discuss the 9 episodes of Arcane.
Oh, yes.
Will be dropping finally tomorrow or Saturday, whenever they edit it.
Once we record.
We've never had a show not be superhero related get so many requests for us to talk about.
It is so good.
The League of Legends show?
Yeah. I think you would actually really
It's on our
enjoy
to-watch list. We watched the trailer for it and it looked good.
It's very
but
good.
there's just so much to watch right now. We're trying to work our way through it.
I'm running out of things that are interesting to watch. Now I'm running into shows like that Ghost show, which we started watching, and we were watching this show about ghosts living in a mansion. We're like, this is kind of dumb.
Was it the Haunted Mansion?
No. It's the one I was telling you about. It's called Ghosts.
Oh, okay.
It's about 8 ghosts living with 2 living people. And it's like a sitcom. But it's one of those shows I started because we had nothing else to put on, really. It's like, I don't really feel like watching a horror movie. Let's pop on this random show it's recommending. And we're like, oh, man, episode 1 kind of sucked. Episode 2's okay. Episode 3 is getting a little bit better. Episode 7 really picks up. Like, we just kept going with it.
You gotta get like 6 or 7 seasons in. That's when the show really gets you.
Now, once you get to that finale,
so good though.
Well, I was waiting for Halo Infinite. So they were like, Halo Infinite drops. And I went
That's
online.
not a show.
No, but I was waiting for it to update. And so I had it on the Xbox. And I before I went out for the day, because we went out to eat last night. So before I went out, I checked it, made sure it worked, and made sure it was updated.
Sure.
No, it's one of those games that you boot up and they're like, welcome to Halo. Now let us download the campaign in-game.
Yeah.
No!
those are the worst. Those are the worst. You're
It's
like, yes, I
it's ready to
downloaded.
play. Well, to actually play it, you gotta wait another 16 hours.
It was like another 4-hour download.
Yeah.
Because everyone and their brother was trying to get Halo Infinite last night. So I'm watching it like,
I'm your
100%.
brother. I wasn't trying to get it.
Everyone and their brother.
Oh, not his brother.
No.
Yeah,
He apparently doesn't count as part
Everyone?
of the everyone.
It's true.
But I couldn't get it because I was like, I'm watching it. And I'm like, we're just watching it. It's like 3 minutes, 1%. 3 more minutes, 2%. Oh, this ain't gonna happen.
Well,
tonight.
yeah, you never a watched game never downloads, Ben.
This is true. This is true.
I just have this image of you sitting there on the couch. 1%.
That was
This is what he
only
did.
the
He
first
probably
5
sat
minutes.
there and went, sees it move out. Okay, it is moving.
Okay.
It is
I did wait for that to see if it was like going up. So, all right. So today's topic is going to be iconic stuff. So last week or so, Twitter blew up with who's more iconic. And the discussion, of course, jumped to, is it Justice League? Is it Avengers? Is it DC? Is it Marvel? Has Marvel overtaken the iconic logoing because of the MCU? Who is the winner? So before we get into a list I have here off of TaylorBrands.com, and the reason I grabbed this one is it seemed to be the most, like most of them all lined up. It seemed like this is where they were all coming from.
Okay.
All the ones I found. So let's start here. Dan,
'Kay.
as a newcomer to the world of comics.
Yes, only been in it
No, no.
7 years now. Yes.
You're the newest in the team.
Yes, relatively speaking.
I started when I was 4.
Yeah, that's what it's,
Comics helped me learn to read. Oddly enough.
so. But reason I'm asking is, you saw a lot of these logos before you actually knew what a lot of this was.
Yes.
So who would you, just before we go into like the evidence and the research, who would you consider to be more iconic, DC or Marvel?
Like right now? Right now, I would say DC
right now.
has more iconic characters and Marvel has more iconic teams. Because when I think individual characters, my thought goes Superman and Batman. But when I think team, I think Avengers before I think Justice League.
Not Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Definitely not Zack Snyder's Justice
Just a bunch of people frowning and everyone.
Like, because I feel like the Avengers, while yes, the Avengers have had so many different people on it, I feel like it's stayed core enough, at least recently speaking, like since the movies started and stuff like that, that when you say the Avengers, everyone has a similar team, like almost the exact same team. Whereas you say Justice League, you get many different ones. The only consistency is the Trinity, but that's why I consider those to be more character icons, being Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, but team Marvel.
Okay. Andy, right now, who do you consider to be more iconic?
I would say, while it does pain me, I would say worldwide probably the Avengers at this point, just because of the movies.
Okay, so at this point, so let's say pre-movies then.
Pre-movies, DC.
Pre-movies, definitely DC.
Pre-movies,
Yes.
nobody cared
Excluding-
who Iron Man,
actually-
Captain America was. Not really. I mean, they were popular comic book characters, but they like outside of the comic book world,
Yeah.
nobody knew who the hell they were.
Yeah.
The only
Whereas everybody knew who Batman, Superman, maybe not Wonder Woman as much, but she was still up there. Whereas
Okay.
now, because of the MCU and their worldwide phenomenon, blah, 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 everybody knows who they are.
Because I've brought it up multiple times, so we're not going to go into it, but the whole Marvel making the comment of getting Iron Man out there was hard because no one knew he was a guy
Exactly.
in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no one knew who he was. Same thing with World War II Captain America. No one knew who he was, or what he was doing.
Outside of the comics, before the MCU, nobody cared about those characters.
Right. I mean, I remember reading at one point a long time ago, the logo for Superman and Batman was more iconic and recognizable than the Christian cross.
I could see that.
I don't know how true that is to this day. I remember that.
Yeah.
reading at the beginning, but it
But
wasn't.
I would say before the MCU, though, it was definitely Superman, Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
with Spider-Man up there. I would say
Yeah, I
Spider-Man
could say
has
Spider-Man,
always
yeah.
been a like Marvel's one iconic
Yeah, I would say
character
that. Before
has
that.
just consistently
Yeah,
been
yeah,
an
yeah.
icon.
Well, so I was going to say, I would say before the MCU took off, so 2010 pre, we'll say,
Yeah.
Okay.
the most iconic symbols in the world of comics that got out there, I would say, was probably Superman's logo, Batman's logo, and Spider-Man's face.
Yeah,
because that was a
probably.
logo. And
Yeah.
That
he
was
never-
his logo, pretty much.
I mean, for a while, he had the belt that shined the spider symbol down, and it was just his face.
Love it. Love it.
It's like, wait, how is that a thing?
We should have just had a Spider-Man who, instead of had a spider, had his own face on his chest.
Wasn't there a
Peter
Superman
Man.
that used his logo as a weapon? Like he could take it off like a
That was
cellophane wrap?
Superman 2.
Yeah, he throws it.
He throws
grabs
it at one of
and
the
then wraps him up
Kryptonians,
and
yeah.
then disappears.
It's
and
like
you're
a it's like a Superman cellophane thing. Yeah. I don't know what it was supposed to be.
So pre 2010, I'd say since then, I don't think Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman have really fallen off of the iconic scale.
I don't think so. No.
But I do think instead of it being Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, now it is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, but also Captain America, Shield.
All of the Avengers.
I don't think Iron Man really has a symbol that makes
It's usually
him like
just Iron
just
Man.
it would
You
just be
see
just
him.
his face.
Yeah.
and so out of the new Avengers line, let's just like who do you see more of when you're going out there and looking at the toys?
Like toys?
Actually, you know, with Iron Man, it's funny. Not his look necessarily is iconic, but his pose of standing and
Yeah.
shooting the blaster,
Yeah.
I would say, is a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
iconic.
I'm just trying to think of like who do you see more toys? Who do you see more merchandising for?
Spider-Man.
Because that would make it who's iconic.
I would
'cause that's
say
selling.
I would say in terms of like the core Avengers team as they started in the MCU, because they're not that way anymore, would be Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Hulk.
Okay.
And then every now and then
Hulk's
you would
fist became his
yeah
symbol.
his thing. Every now and then you would see like Hawkeye or Black Widow, but they were never like the big ones on the
Yeah,
team.
they never got a big Thor.
They didn't get the
Iron Man,
recognition
and
they
Captain
you
America.
probably deserved, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was always the thing about the Black Widow movie. She never got what she
It
deserved
should have come
going
out
into
6
it.
years prior to when
And
it came
Hawkeye,
out.
it should have just been a Hawkeye Black Widow movie. And
That would have been awesome.
That would have been great.
Yeah,
I would have watched that.
I would say even pre-2010, even like the Flash symbol was kind of recognizably. Green Lantern, maybe
No.
a little
I would
out there.
say
I will
outside of
say
Flash
no.
had the
comic
90s
book-
show.
Yeah, but
I
I
would
would say
say
outside
no.
of comic book fans,
No,
no one
really
would
got
have
him.
noticed.
I didn't know
like,
Flash.
It might
Okay.
be
I would have
somewhere,
saw
but
lightning
you would
bolt.
just you would just
Yeah.
saw a lightning bolt. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know what it was.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what it
Green
was.
Lantern, I know, wasn't as
No.
nearly as popular because
You would see the symbol, but nobody
they
would.
almost retired him by turning him into Parallax. Like we don't even need a Green Lantern. No
Mm-hmm.
one cares about Green Lantern.
Well, no, they had other Green Lantern. We had Kyle Rayner after he became
No one
Parallax.
cares about Green Lanterns.
Kyle Rayner was my Green Lantern, just so we're clear on that.
The artist with his girlfriend in the fridge.
Yeah. That was the Green Lantern when I was a kid growing up. Same with Wally West as my Flash.
No, I know all of us. Yeah,
And he's not nearly as annoying as your Flash.
Barry is amazing.
I'm just saying. Ben's Flash is impulse. Anyway, keep going.
No.
It's actually Bartor.
Hey, Bartor was a hero of our age.
Not of his age, though.
Yeah, no. So you'd say now the movies have made the Avengers more iconic.
100%.
I would say they're more. You see them a lot more around the world.
So let's put them side by side then. Superman, Batman versus Captain America, Iron Man, and I'd say Thor. That's kind of like the trinity over there, the most you see.
Generally, yeah.
Because Hulk doesn't have a true symbol, which is the problem.
No.
You know, Black Widow's symbol is just an hourglass. No one even knows it's her half the time.
Right, yeah.
We've gotten, this is not even a joke. We have received merchandise from Marvel or Disney or whoever we're working with that is Black Widow oriented. And every single time, if it's just her symbol, there is at least a minute or two of us going, what is this supposed to be?
Why do they send us an hourglass? Doesn't make any sense.
Same thing with Hawkeye. Like, I don't think there's still a Hawkeye symbol.
It's
is there?
just an arrow.
Yeah, it's just Band-Aids on a face.
So at this point, would you say that the Avengers and Spider-Man are more worldwide
I would.
than Superman or Batman?
I don't know if I'd go more, but they definitely caught up.
They're at least up there.
They're at least up there with them now at this
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I would say at this point it's probably equal.
Because the Twitter argument immediately boiled down to, no, the MCU is definitely more iconic and they've been around longer. Because I love the fans who have just
Well, they
gotten
haven't been
into comic
around
books.
longer.
Well, that's
Technically, Superman has.
well, that's what I'm saying. I love the fans.
If we're talking a united movie, like a cinematic
Yeah, yeah.
universe,
Well, yes,
yes.
MCU wins in that regard. I'll give you that.
Well, what I wanted to say is, like, we hit a point now where it's because.
It's not even comic book fans anymore. Now it's the movie fan.
Well, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's the difference, and a lot of people don't seem to recognize this. It's not like the movie fans came out of the woodwork a year ago.
Right.
This is now a thing for 12 years.
Right.
This is like in its own right. It's like I love the old argument. 7-8 years ago used to be like, well, you don't even read the comics. You don't even know what's actually going on.
Yeah.
You're like a flimsy fan. No, there are people who are watching the Marvel movies now.
It's like a
That they-
28 episode show at this point.
It is, and it's been
Yeah.
around for at a minimum 12 to 13 years with a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah.
There are people who grew up. Let's say you started watching these movies at like 8. You've now just grown up with the MCU iteration.
Yeah.
There's no longer a thing of like, well, the comics are the true version. No.
Now we got new fans who are like, your first MCU movie was Shang-Chi, and they're like, you haven't even been watching the MCU. You don't even know what's going on.
They don't even know how it's happening. So I always find that interesting that this has been going on long enough now that the argument about who's more iconic can be related to just movies.
Right, yeah.
Because this isn't a new invention. This isn't back in the day when we're like, we got an X-Men movie. It's terrible, but we got it.
Hey, wait, which X-Men movie?
X3.
Okay. I'll give it to you.
I'll say
Spider-Man
I'll give it to you.
the first Raimi Spider-Man actually started, I feel, the superhero movie movement much more than just like the MCU, because the Raimi Spider-Man is what got me into that scene.
Yeah.
Like-
I want a quick comment from her. I try not to grab Twitch chat too often on these podcasts, but just to make us feel old, or at least me, because I've been doing this since the beginning. I grew up with Comicstorian.
Yes.
God damn it, we've been doing this too long.
I saw that once where it's like, man, I remember watching these guys when I was back in middle school, and now I'm graduating college. And it's like, what the hell?
How long have I been talking about comics professionally?
Yeah, well,
Long enough
professionally.
long enough for that person to get through middle school and college.
So anyway, you were saying, Dan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, like I feel like the Raimi Spider-Man movies started kind of kind of the superheroes are more than just comic books. In my opinion, I feel like all the Superman and Batman films before that, I feel like those were ones where those were, oh, this is perpetuating the Batman icon and like fandom, the Superman.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a DC focus where for some reason, it might have been because Spider-Man came out and like we got the X-Men films around as
around
well.
after that, and then
That it
Fantastic
felt more
Four.
like, exactly, we got like a bunch of these other ones and that felt like the true, okay, now we're going into comic movies, not
Yeah,
Spider-Man, not Superman, not Batman, just comic movies. And I feel like that was the entryway, and that was, I feel like that might have been for my generation or my version of the generation of where Spider-Man became iconic. Obviously, I feel like Spider-Man got the head start with the cartoon.
Yes, yeah. I
like-
was just say if you were a '90s kid, it was Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, and Fantastic Four had their own cartoon.
Oh yeah, because I watched X-Men
Yeah.
cartoon
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot as well. But
Well, before I go down this list of logos and explain more about where I got this,
yes. Well, I'll bring out the thing that I know you want because Tobey Maguire from the Raimi films, I believe, is going to be jumping through a portal.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Honey. Honey is a free browser extension that is designed to save you money. Honey automatically scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones that it finds to your cart to save you money. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online ranging from tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands and even food delivery. Honey has helped 17 million members save more than $2 billion. Just click the Apply Coupons button on the extension at checkout and watch the savings roll in. I've been using Honey every time that I shop online. Honey helped me save on my recent Walmart order by getting me free shipping. If you don't already have Honey, you could straight up be missing out on free savings. It's literally free and it installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid in supporting this podcast. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/experiment. That's joinhoney.com/experiment. Thanks, Honey, for supporting today's episode. Today's podcast is sponsored by one of my favorite streaming platforms, HBO Max. HBO Max has kept my streaming queue full all year long with all kinds of amazing content. And the best part is that there is always something new being added every day. Right now, you can go watch things such as Zack Snyder's Justice League, Joker, The Matrix Trilogy, Aquaman, the DC animated movies such as The Flashpoint Paradox, and they have not just great movies, but also great shows, such as Young Justice Phantoms, which is currently ongoing and a great watch. HBO Max has all of this and more on demand, and you can download top titles to watch on your devices on the go. Don't miss out on taking your entertainment game to the next level. HBO Max is the streaming home of over 13,000 hours of addictive series, blockbuster movies, and exclusive originals. Start streaming on your favorite devices today. Sign up at hbom.ax/comicsdec. That's hbom.ax/comicsdec.
Jump back through the portal.
But just
And
so we're,
back. Oh.
just so we're clear, they have not either confirmed nor denied that Tobey Maguire will, in fact, be jumping through a portal.
Did you see the thing of someone who's definitely getting fired where they put out the billing
No,
and it's got Andrew Garfield
Does
and
it?
Tobey Maguire and someone's like, well, someone's fired.
Yep, someone got fired.
My favorite is, let me see if I can find it real quick, about that they're, okay, so everyone knows the way, I think it's pretty public, but whenever games or tie-in products try to relate to a movie, this is planned like a year in advance.
Yeah, they always spoil it when they're like, yeah, they released these images of the action figures, and
Yeah.
you can see that.
It was the,
That's also how everybody found out that Henry Cavill was coming back as Superman. Because they released
Oh,
action
yeah.
figures about it.
I was thinking that
Which
we
is why
learned
I-
Bruce Banner was in the Hulkbuster.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one that I was
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
No, and I actually, that was when they started doing that, and I was like, and they were still trying to do like the whole the press tour, and they still were trying to deny.
Even though Henry Cavill was at every press event, and they're like, yeah, no, but Superman's dead, just so we're clear on that. And he's like, yeah, totally.
I would have loved if they legitimately kept him dead for like 2 or 3 more movies.
That would have been funny.
Just
I'm trying to find
still
the
have him there.
But Henry Cavill's like,
Just
well, then
always have
I'm
him
just
there.
always part of the press
They
tours.
subvertly
He's a charismatic
named
guy. It makes sense.
Very charismatic.
Marvel Future Fight wanted to have a fight against each one of the Spider-Man's villains.
Oh, okay.
But they subvertly named each fight. But it says Andrew Garfield, it says Tom McGuire, but it's like broken in different words.
Oh, really? That's
And I'm
fine.
trying to find the exact wording.
Andrew.
It's the McGuire fight. This is the Garfield fight. But it's just a big orange cat.
But I can't find it anymore, but it was something along the lines of like, maybe this is it. That's July. No, I can't find it now.
Ah, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Let's
I'm not
move
going to
on.
look that long for it. But
This is the next 45 minutes, guys.
they basically subvertly named every one of the fights, and it would be like, it was like a Gar is on a field of like that kind of like obviousness. Like
Odd. That doesn't even make any sense. A Gar is on a
I don't
field?
know. I'm trying
That
to
Gar is
find
on
the
a
official
field.
name. If anybody-
Andrew over there.
anyone in our chat is playing Future Fight and it's updated, go on and type out what the name of those fights are. Because they are so give it away.
Okay. I'm still going to laugh really hard if they're not in the movie.
It's like
I know.
Garfield
So
punch,
hard, you don't even
McGuire kick.
So while I'm waiting for our Twitch chat to get that information for me, the names of each one of those legendary fights for the Spider-Man No Way Home fights, I got a list here, and this is off of a brand that their idea is that basically this blog post is the most requested logos.
Okay.
Okay.
So I wanted to see if this maybe subverts some of our ideas, or maybe it's more modern versus, where did this come from?
Okay.
The number one most requested superhero logo at their store, their brand, their tailoring brand and all that stuff, is Superman.
Obviously.
I think Superman's logo at this point kind of surpasses comics or even Superman.
Yeah, I
himself.
was going to say that's
It just
how
has
it
its
is.
own
Yeah.
meaning and stuff like
And
that.
that's what I
Yeah.
said, though. It's like, I think the MCU and stuff got them maybe equal up there, but I don't think they will ever surpass Superman and,
Right, right.
and Batman.
The second thing, can you guys guess what it is? The second
Is it
most,
Batman?
Yeah, the second most iconic is Batman.
Suck it, Marvel fans.
Second most requested is the Batman logo.
I'm just kidding. I like you guys, too. Just,
And this
DC's
is where
my
it gets
jam.
a little interesting, which is why I asked you about this.
Okay.
The third most requested is the Flash. Now, is that
Interesting.
more
Well, it's
current
just because
of the
they're just
show
like,
and
I
the
need a
movie?
lightning
Actually,
bolt.
yeah.
This one.
Actually, that could be very true as well, because the only other lightning bolt I can think of is Harry
What?
Potter's head.
What's your brand about? Well, it's actually funny. We do a lot of time travel bullshit. We have just the logo for you, sir.
And real quick, for the people who are asking what I'm talking about, Future Fight, look for the No Way Home legendary fights. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play app games, so
No, I know you don't.
yeah, they're awful.
Now this is where it kind of gets a little... So the Flash event interesting, but I feel like that's more of a current day.
Sure.
Because the Flash
Yeah.
does have a show. The
Yeah.
Flash does have the movie with Ezra Miller.
Yes.
The Flash is getting more and more steam as he's going.
Right. And who's going to be in that? Batman.
I know.
Actually, yeah.
Number 4. Can you guys guess who the fourth
And
most
Supergirl,
requested
actually.
logo
And you want to know
is?
what's a little funny about that? Just to harp on the Batman van is Flash. The show came out of basically the Batman show, which was
essentially.
Arrow.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right,
Fourth
third-
most requested logo. What do you guys think it is?
Wolverine's claws. I don't know. I got nothing.
Is that a logo?
No.
In the X
I would have
format.
gotten. Are they only superhero logos?
Yes.
Yeah.
I only
Okay,
got
then
superhero logo.
Spider-Man's face.
Nope.
Captain America's shield.
Wonder.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'll give you. I'll let, you guys will get these.
Okay.
There's no way.
Yeah.
None of these are gonna be like Moon Knight.
Oh.
Actually,
Moon Knight surpasses
I'm,
Superman.
I'm expecting Punisher to be on there, and not because
Punisher
people
skull.
know that it's Punisher.
It's also because of the military uses it and police.
Like
Yeah.
everyone uses it, and a lot of people
Well, it's
don't
a
know
skull.
that it's
Yeah.
from.
But it's
Even
a
if it's
cool
not
looking
Punisher's skull, it's a skull.
But it's this cool looking skull.
So what is the number 5 most requested logo?
Fantastic
These
Four.
days, Wonder Woman's W's.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yep. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman became an icon, I feel, when her movie did as well as it did. I feel like not just because of how good the movie was, but because of the milestones that it
First
broke.
superhero
First female superhero
movie, first female directed, I believe.
all of that stuff,
female written.
and the fact that it was
All the
good.
crew was female. Not a
like it
single
was all
male.
good. Gal Gadot is just amazing in general.
Yeah, she
like
is.
I feel like that movie really shot her to the forefront as one of the most iconic DC characters, and really made it the Trinity as opposed to before, where I feel like it was just Superman and
Superman.
Batman, and then
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman
We
and
got a
Flash.
lady.
Exactly.
Is she with you? I thought she was with you. Bruce, she sent you emails 20 minutes ago. She's with you.
You know everyone. Everyone's with you.
You have video. You have folders of every superhero.
Folders of everyone.
And Lex made you logos.
I'm gonna super slap him. I swear to God.
Super slap.
All right, number 6. Most requested logo.
X-Men.
Nope.
Number 6.
This is where it's gonna get a little more obscure.
All right.
Moon Knight.
Do we get a clue?
Not that obscure.
Fantastic Four.
They're not even back yet. They don't get nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. What?
Nothing. Screw 'em.
Deadpool?
No.
Oh, actually, I would see the Deadpool symbol
yeah.
up there. Yeah.
Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah.
That one I find a little weird, but I would assume
is.
comic books as a whole getting more popular.
Yeah.
Green Lantern
That's
is-
Ryan Reynolds as a whole getting more popular and people knowing of Green Lantern because
That
of
movie was awful.
So the next one I find a bit interesting. It's not so much the logo, but more the font being used.
Spider-Man.
No.
the font.
Who doesn't have a logo but has been recently more
Avengers.
popular? And I'll even give you the clue of
Hawkeye.
recently got mentioned a whole bunch and still isn't technically out with a new show yet.
Daredevil.
Oh.
The Daredevil font logo.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
At first, I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I'm just glad Charlie Cox is gonna be back as Daredevil.
Yep.
All
Dude,
right.
it was awesome.
The next big logo everyone loves and they'll be requesting.
Deadpool.
No.
Spider-Man.
No.
Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
number 8 on this list.
Wow, I'm
I
actually
was
surprised.
I was gonna say with you, I was just gonna eventually be like, you've already said it.
You
like-
already said, well, yeah, but I've already said everybody. Moon Knight.
And then of course number 9, the Punisher skull.
Yep.
So like Spider-Man isn't even on this thing yet, or
10.
the X-Men.
He's
symbol.
10.
Oh,
10. The most requested is actually the
Just that, yeah.
Spider.
Just the spider.
Yeah, yeah,
They've
yeah.
kind of, I think they've kind of diluted him a little bit by actually making the spider more the iconic because
I
it
could
was
see
the
that.
base for so long.
Yeah, for the longest time. Yeah.
After that, I don't even know if you can count this one. It's the Riddler
Interesting.
because it's a question mark.
Interesting.
See, now that we're going into some of these ones, it's making me wonder if the Flash legitimately is on there because it's a lightning bolt.
Might be.
Maybe. Yeah.
Fantastic
Iron Man.
Four is on there because it's easy
Yeah, the
to
arc reactor,
doodle
sure.
yourself. Yeah. Like, because a lot
Then
of these
Deadpool,
are
and then
very.
the Avengers A, and then Black Panther.
Is it an actual panther?
Yes, the Panther mask.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
logo.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed for a lot of superheroes. They kind of made logos in the recent years.
Sure. Yeah.
Now we're going to see what Woke Culture's version is. Going to hit a few of these so that we can kind of get
Right.
a number 10. They go backwards because they're Woke Culture and they want you to go through the whole list.
Obviously.
The Flash is number 10 for them.
Okay. That one I can see.
I'm assuming this was more made by them deciding what are the most iconic.
Yeah, I was gonna say because this all depends on who's making the list.
yeah.
Number 9 is Green Lantern on this one. Daredevil is number 8.
Who's number 1? Just jump ahead.
I'm trying,
Just jump
but
ahead.
Do it.
It's What Culture. I have to go through
No.
8 pages of ads. Oh, that one opened up.
All right, let's tweet at saved you a click. Have them put it all in one tweet for me.
That one is telling me apparently Alex Rider's getting a season 2.
Oh,
Does anyone know what Alex Rider is?
I don't even know what that is, honestly.
No,
The name sounds vaguely familiar, but
I mean, it's Alex Rider is the most generic superhero sounding name ever.
yeah.
That'd be like, Andy, today the movie featuring John Smith is out.
Oh God.
Is that when he wrote
Mr. and
Ma-
Mrs. Smith too?
Oh,
The divorcing.
Oh my God.
guns.
I can't even get to number 1 because so many extra ads are popping up and blocking
Let's
it.
just assume it's
Let's
Superman.
Superman.
3
is
is
Superman.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Okay, this one.
I'm getting there. Batman's number 2.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Superman.
You
Superman.
saying Superman?
I'm saying
It's Superman.
It's Superman.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotta be Superman.
Superman was iconic before people really even knew the difference between DC and Marvel or anything. Like Superman,
Superman
is
is the first superhero.
Exactly.
Like legitimately.
in
like that's not even a joke.
been around
He is
for a little
literally the first superhero.
yeah. And the easiest to remember too, because you go,
His
oh, it's
name-
the superpowered
his
man.
name.
Like what? What are his powers? All of them? Cool.
All of them.
I mean, that's literally what it was. As the years went on, it's like, we'll just keep giving him more.
Yeah, and then it was like, all right, we gotta start giving him
mean,
less.
Nothing
He
beats.
can do everything. He doesn't need the
I don't
league
even see
anymore.
why do we even have him around still?
Why do we have the league? We don't even need the league.
Who needs a league when you've got wall rebuilding vision? My favorite.
And a
of all.
cellophane logo.
And amnesia kisses.
Yes.
I got amnesia kisses. The power.
Amnesia kisses. Batman, you figured out who I am. Come here. No, get away from me.
All right, so I think at this point, I think we can come to the conclusion that
Superman.
is the most iconic superhero.
Yes.
Suck it,
hands
internet.
down.
Oh,
And the second most?
too much.
Batman.
Okay. Third most? I think at this point it's a toss-up between the Captain America symbol or Wonder Woman symbols, basically, for us.
Yeah.
I would say if
I
we're
would say
talking
this
in America,
Avengers
Captain
A.
America overall.
The Avengers
Wonder
A
Woman.
has got to be way up
Yeah,
there.
I was gonna say that's probably up there
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah.
I can see that. I
Most
feel,
people know what that is.
Captain America's shield, though, I feel is a lot more popular in the States and not a
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah.
I can see that.
iconic
I still
thing.
think Spider-Man is probably still up there as the third most iconic because that face,
Yeah.
even though over here we've kind of moved to the spider, worldwide that face is still out there.
Yeah.
That and if we're talking iconic outside of just images, Spider-Man because of his theme song, Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
So we're
like
gonna-
everyone knows
He
that.
literally does whatever a spider can.
Exactly.
So we're gonna end today's episode with something people always ask us, and we'll just because this will be our most iconic. Andy, who are your top 3 superheroes that no matter what happens in the books, they're so iconic to you, you will read?
Well, I have to read everything now, so that doesn't
Yeah,
really count.
Okay, so tomorrow you don't have to anymore.
Batman is my favorite character of all time.
Okay.
And even though most of the time these days there's not a lot of Batman stories I still like the character. Probably Superman movie number 2. And those are my big ones from DC. So if we got to go over to Marvel, probably Captain America and Thor
Okay.
are ones I will generally read.
Those are your iconic
Yeah,
heroes that you
I
would
would say,
read.
yeah.
No matter what, even if you hate the story, you're like, I'm still getting it.
I'll still at least read it, and like, give it a shot.
All right, Dan. I see I see the hamsters on the wheel kind of falling off.
Yeah, the hamster's struggling to stay on that wheel.
So X-23.
Well, I was gonna say Wolverine, just Wolverine in general.
Wolverine and Wolverine adjacent.
Pretty much. I mean, they're all just Wolverines.
So mine are
yeah.
Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Spider-Man, and Wolverine.
I was
No
gonna say
particular
Green
order. I mean,
Lantern,
that's
but
my-
the Grant Morrison proved. To
I
me
went
that
5. I
it
gave
was.
you crap for going 4.
I had.
jeez, we're gonna say a bunch, I guess.
See, mine was 1 or 16. Either way, it's the correct answer.
42. And on that note, this has been Comics Experiment. Dan, last chance. Top number 1 superhero. Go.
Number one
Just one.
superhero,
Get
just
one.
face, Wolverine.
Okay.
There you go.
That's the only way you'll get an answer.
You gotta get him. You gotta hit him with the fear.
This is true. This is true. And if you fear missing out on savings, go to Honey, where you can go to joinhoney.com/experiment. Save
Well
money
played.
when you shop online.
Well played, sir.
Or our other great sponsor, HBO Max. What a fantastic streaming platform they've got over there. We told you more about both of them in the middle of today's episode. Also check out G Fuel. Use code COMICS at checkout. Dungeons and Ale, one of our YouTube channels. Absolutely Marvel and DC, one of our YouTube channels. You're on Comicstorian, so you know where this is. patreon.com/Comicstorian. Twitch, twitch.tv/Comicstorian.
We also have a TikTok and Snapchat, both of them run by Dan and me.
Comicstorian.
Right now, I've been doing an advent calendar where I open up a Spider-Man advent calendar to get a Spider-Man chocolate. It's got nothing but Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
Shocking.
No, but like Spider-Man Miles, Spider-Man Green Goblin.
You should have gotten
Spider-Man
the.
Carnage.
They made a Lego
There was
Marvel superhero advent calendar.
Did
That's
they?
what they
We
should
got the
have.
Pokemon
That's
one.
what you should have gotten.
Yeah, you should get that one.
I'm sorry, I'll get that one.
At
Get
this
it?
point, you
We'll
probably
do
can't.
Christmas in January.
Just
we
find
keep
it.
doing that one.
Yes, each month we're going to get a new advent
Yeah.
calendar and open it on.
And if
the
you go to our
TikToks.
TikTok, you can see Dan trying to try to quiz me and Andy
Yes.
about what super. So far, I'm 0 for like 5. Andy,
Today I was 4 out of 5, right?
you got 4 or 5
Something
of
like
them?
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
today I was 4
He
out of
was
5,
pretty
yeah.
good.
I just don't do good with the 20 seconds. I think if
You're-
you would give me 5 more, I could get some of these.
I give
you-
45 seconds now.
If you
he
give
got
me
Wonder Woman
6 hours and access to the internet,
and Wikipedia.
I could come
and
up with it.
Wikipedia. All right, thank you guys so much. This has been Comics Experiment, and we'll see you next week right here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.